Are you considering moving to Los Angeles but not sure which cool neighborhood you want to live in? Well, let's explore Mount Washington, Highland Park, and Eagle Rock. Hi, my name is Felipe Crook with eXp Realty, and I'm going to show you the different aspects of these neighborhoods so you can make the best decision on where to live when you move to Los Angeles. Let's start in Highland Park.
So Highland Park is a great community in the northeast part of Los Angeles. Now, technically, this is in the city of Los Angeles, but it definitely has a more suburban-like feel. It is accessed from the 110 freeway, which goes all the way down to San Pedro and through downtown. And you also have the 5 freeway, which is at the south side of Highland Park. Now, one of the cool parts about Highland Park is that if you are a historic buff or you like older properties that are preserved, then there's a large section of this area called an HPOZ, or Historic Preservation Overlay Zone. This basically means that they are trying to maintain the integrity of the neighborhood and avoid what has happened on so many other parts of Los Angeles, where a developer will go in there, they'll buy the property, they will tear it all down, and then they'll build a 3,000 square foot mansion. This is basically avoiding that type of situation. Anytime that you want to make adjustments or changes to the outside of your property, you're going to have to get approval from a committee from the HPOZ. So if you do not want to have any kind of restrictions on what you can do with the outside of your property, then certain parts of Highland Park are not going to be for you. But there are big sections of Highland Park that are not in the HPOZ. Now, typically what you'll see in this community in terms of architecture, you'll see craftsman style properties, Spanish style properties. You'll have some modern homes that have been newly built. You have some on hillside, and you'll have a little bit of everything in between. So once in a while, you'll get a mid-century modern. Once in a while, you'll get a Tudor style property. It kind of varies, but the majority of what you'll see is going to be Spanish and craftsman style property. Now, in Highland Park, there are 2 major thoroughfares. There's Figueroa Street and York Boulevard. Figueroa Street is where a lot of the cool people hang out. You have really great bars, restaurants, music venues there, and of course, the new Jenny's ice cream that just opened up on Figueroa Street. It is one of my favorite ice creams in Los Angeles. If you get a chance, definitely go and stop by Jenny's ice cream right there. But as you can see, there's a good mix of new and old. Now, a lot of people are going to complain that Highland Park has been gentrified and it's pushing a lot of people out. Well, in my opinion, this gentrification has been happening for the last 10 to 15 years. So it's something that you just can't avoid in Highland Park. But you do have a lot of different options for properties here. You have small lot homes that are brand new construction. I just sold this property a few years ago. It's a small lot home. You also have single family homes, condos, townhouses, duplexes, and triplexes, and a couple fourplexes as well. So if you're an investor looking to rent out some of these properties, you can also buy multifamily properties here as well. Now, the other major road in Highland Park is York Boulevard. You'll also have some really great coffee shops and restaurants and bars on this side as well. In terms of schools in Highland Park, most of the school ratings are between a B- and a B+, but you do not have any A+ rated schools in Highland Park directly. In terms of price-wise, homes in this area are selling just under $1.1 million. This is a lot cheaper than areas like Silver Lake, Los Feliz, and Echo Park. Most people who are outpriced in those areas tend to move over into the Highland Park, Eagle Rock area because you get a little bit more bang for your buck. Homes are a little bit bigger in square footage, and you also have a little bit bigger lots than you do a little bit closer into the city.
If we take a 5 to 10 minute drive, we are in Eagle Rock. It's really close to Highland Park, and they share a lot of the same characteristics. One of the cool parts about Eagle Rock, very similar to Highland Park and Mount Washington, is that it backs up against multiple freeways. So on the north side, you have the 134, on the west side, you have the 2, and then on the east side, you have the 110, which also connects you to downtown Los Angeles. So it's very, very accessible from multiple freeways.
Now, Eagle Rock is right next to Highland Park. The 2 major roads that you will see in Eagle Rock are Eagle Rock Boulevard and Colorado Boulevard. I spend the majority of my time on Colorado Boulevard because that's where all of the cool restaurants are. And there's a great restaurant called Cindy's that has amazing pies, has a mid-century modern vibe inside. and the food is really great. You also have classic restaurants that have been there for a long time, plus other new pop-up restaurants that are a little bit newer. You do also have a lot of mom and pop shops on Colorado Boulevard. The architectural style that you see in Eagle Rock is going to be very similar to Highland Park. It is very, very close to Highland Park, so you'll still see a lot of craftsmen, some Spanish-style properties, but there are some storybook architecture in there as well, which is really interesting because you don't see that type of architecture a lot in Los Angeles, just in certain pockets, and you definitely will see that here. You also have an area that is close to the 134 freeway where you will have huge properties on much bigger sized lots. So if you're looking for a little bit more room in your property and your lot, then Eagle Rock might be a good option for you. Now, the average price point in Eagle Rock is definitely a little bit higher than it is in Highland Park. It's priced at $1,337,500. So it's definitely more expensive, but you do get a little bit more square footage and a little bit more land for the properties out there. In terms of the school ratings in Eagle Rock, they are definitely higher than it is in Highland Park. You have a couple A's, A minuses, well qualified, good rated schools in this area. The interesting part about the geography in this area as well is that you have some flat sections and hill sections. So if you're looking for a home with a view, you can find that in Highland Park, Eagle Rock, and especially in Mount Washington, which brings me to Mount Washington. Now, the main reason that you're going to want to live in Mount Washington is if you want to have a little bit more of a secluded lifestyle, because this is not a walkable area. Mount Washington is on a mountain. That's why it's called Mount Washington. And you have incredible views from this area. This is mostly a residential area, so you are there just to live. And it's a little bit more secluded than you will see in parts of Highland Park or Eagle Rock. You're not going to see a lot of people just randomly walk up in Mount Washington. You're either walking your dog or you have a specific purpose to be there. One of the best aspects of Mount Washington is the Mount Washington Elementary School that has a really good rating. So if you're looking for a really well-rated elementary school, then Mount Washington is the perfect location for you. Now, let's talk about the architecture in Mount Washington. It can be, let's say, a little quirky. So you will have properties that are literally on the side of a mountain with a sheer drop. And if you're scared of heights, that this is not the right place for you. But having said that, some of these properties have spectacular views of the city and of the valley. So if you're looking for a view, this is a really good option if you don't want to pay all the extremely high prices in Silver Lake and Los Feliz. And in terms of the architecture, you have all different types of architecture, from bungalows to modern to contemporary to mid-century modern. Plus, you have some homes in this area that you just cannot define their architectural style, but they are pretty cool. So if you're looking for something a little bit eclectic, then this is also another area that you can look in. This area has a ton of buyer demand, and if you were thinking about selling your home, let me know. I'll show you exactly what I do to help my clients get top dollar, including drone footage and video walkthroughs.
I can't wait to show you my latest listing. This is a remodeled duplex in Pickfair Village, which is just a few miles away from Culver City, Beverly Hills, and West Hollywood. Let's go take a look at the front unit.
Make sure you like and subscribe if you have any questions and you want to see more real estate here in Los Angeles. My name is Felipe Crook with eXp Realty, investing in your dreams.